were talking about that in our
Yeah.
stream, or like the stream or something. Like I don't remember.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jerry Weathers, and welcome back to the Weathers Media Podcast. We were supposed to have a special guest on today, but he didn't want to do it. So it's
He
just
didn't. He didn't show up. Yeah, he no showed basically. So it's
yeah.
just the same two people as every week.
Yep. I'm Jerry Weathers, my co-host Aaron Ament, as always. Um. All right, so we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I looked over the list and oh my gosh.
Okay, so
Oh,
so before we get into it, um, I honestly did not think that we were going to have uh anything to talk about this week.
but we do.
We do. We do.
Uh, yeah. What do you want to start with?
Well, you know what? We're
Are
just
we
gonna go
just
straight down, man. We're gonna start with the national
straight?
news. So what? So just so everyone knows, I know they can't see what we're doing right now.
Right.
Um, but the way that that I used to arrange the notes for the show, I
Mhm.
would just kind of like clump certain things together.
Yeah,
But
like list whatever we had to talk about or what like we found out. We just would put on a list. But like now we've actually organized the list in sections, which
yeah,
is smarter on our part.
exactly.
Um,
I'm like, you know what? You know what? We got to do this way better.
so
So
this is basically going to be like a political breakdown podcast along with the Weathers Media podcast, if you want to be technical about it, you know,
sure.
because we have some political things to talk about here. Not a lot, but I mean enough.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna start with Ohio and Michigan.
Hmm.
So pretty much within hours, both Ohio and Michigan. I don't. Neither of us live in Ohio, but I have a friend who lives in Ohio. So she's been, basically like sharing everything, and
Hmm.
so I've been keeping up with it as much as she can post it. So pretty much Michigan and Ohio, just a few hours between them have shut down almost the entire state. Restaurants, gyms, movie theaters, restricting how many people can go into juvenile facility, medical facilities, like, just making sure everyone is safe in the time that we're living in now. Uh, which is pretty much
2020.
half the
Yeah,
state. I mean, they shut down casinos and everything.
yeah. They shut down restaurants. They originally restaurants here they were just going to strictly do drive-through only, but then they kind of decided no, we're just going to have takeout. You know, basically takeout and delivery services only.
Yeah,
It's a huge pandemic. Um,
yeah.
it, small businesses are going out of business because of this. Not
Oh
just in
well,
Ohio
I
and
don't know
Michigan,
about
but
down
in,
there.
in well, no, not like here, not specifically Ohio and Michigan, just like around the whole country. Small
Right.
businesses are going out of business, and it's sad to see it happen. But you know, again, it's not in our control.
Right.
It,
I know up here a lot of our small businesses just kind of they didn't go out of business. They just shut down for the time being.
yes.
Um, but yeah, restaurants except for Buffalo Wild Wings,
Mm.
that one shut down. Um, because we don't really have a lot of delivery up here. Mostly, fast food and stuff.
And pizza, fast
Yeah,
food and
yeah,
pizza.
pizza. Uh, but yeah, so a lot of that stuff shut down. Also yesterday, right before the polls were supposed to open, Ohio closed its primary polls for good. Um, they postponed it. I believe it's May or June. They're going to do it. Um, which is good because a lot of people, show up to, vote in the primary,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
there's not a lot of space in the primary voting places. So it's good. It's good that Ohio shut that down and postponed
yeah.
it till later.
I completely agree. As like with everything that's going on, it's safe to just postpone all these things until this thing goes away. As of right now, I don't see it going away for the time being. It's spreading all over. It's just one big problem.
Yeah. Apparently Illinois and New Mexico did not shut down their polling places, so they still got to vote in person.
That's crazy.
It is. All right. So I'm pulling this next one up.
Hmm.
So on the list, um I misprinted the name. It's Fashion Nova, a discount clothing retailer.
Mm,
So Fashion Nova is suing Takashi 69 for $2.2 million.
damn,
Oh no,
that's
they're
uh,
suing for $2.25 million.
2.25, 2 point. It's a lot of money. Let's
It
just
is.
leave it at that. It's a lot of money.
And guess why they're suing them?
I I didn't read this. I have no idea why Takashi is being sued.
Because Takashi 69 never told Fashion Nova he was a criminal and kept all of the prosecution and everything from Fashion Nova.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. And also, uh, if no one knows this by now, Takashi 69 is set to be released in August of this year.
Mhm.
So he's gonna have a busy day out.
He's got to watch his back, man. He's got people on. He's got people. He's got a target on his back.
He does not just by actual gangsters, but from Fashion Nova apparently. All right, so I'm pulling this next story up because I want to get this right. Okay, so Disney Plus put out Frozen 2 on on the streaming service.
Oh,
Um, it was actually like just the other day that was that was released on Disney Plus. We're also supposed to be getting.
I yeah. Uh, sorry. Go ahead.
We're also supposed to be getting the Skywalker saga or the
Ooh,
the Rise of Skywalker, um,
great movie.
ending the Skywalker saga. Also on Disney Plus. I'm trying to find the date for that.
Yeah, I don't know when it's supposed to be on Disney Plus. I tried finding it on there, so I didn't see it. So I have no idea when it's going to be on there.
I don't know. They do mention in this article that Frozen 2
Hmm.
was officially put on there. When was that? March 14th. So it should be within the next couple weeks. It's Rise of Skywalker should be on Disney Plus.
Okay, I just found out something interesting.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about it when we get to the wrestling
Okay.
because it
Um.
has to do with WrestleMania.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So as we talk about this, I am updating this. The MLB season will officially start in June this year. They pushed it back because of the whole coronavirus thing happening. And on that note, the last of the national news portion we have is four Brooklyn Nets players, including Kevin Durant, have
Mm-hmm.
COVID-19.
Yes. Uh,
Is that
also,
six players now that have?
yes, something like that. Also, the first NHL player to uh, has coronavirus now. They're not releasing the name of the player, but he plays for the Ottawa Senators.
Mm,
So
I don't know anyone who plays for the Senators, so I have no idea.
if you don't know where Ottawa is, it's in Canada. Canada.
Wow. Wow.
Canada.
Wow.
What? Not a lot
Wow.
of people know Canada even exists.
Yeah, they're called Canadians. Okay, so
They flap
that's what we
their
got for
gums.
that. Okay, so usually, as everyone knows, uh, wrestling is always what we would call the main event. But since there isn't a lot of wrestling news at the moment, it's not going to be the main event of this. We're going to talk about it right now. So,
Yes.
WrestleMania moved from
Yes.
it was going to be in Tampa
Rest.
Bay, and then it moved to Orlando.
hmm
What is your
Um.
news?
So again, WrestleMania was supposed to emanate from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa Bay, Florida. Then it got moved to the Performance Center with no audience. And there's two things. So WrestleMania is going to be a two-night event, is what I'm reading and hearing about. Um, it's going to be on April 4th and April 5th. Uh, so it's going to be a two-night event. And there are rumors spreading around that Vince is going to put in an audience sound during the broadcast of Mania. I I I don't know about this, because Vince likes it when there are asses in the seats. No pun intended. Um, with Vince doing this, it's a risky move because there are no audience in the crowd. So adding crowd noise to a place where there's no crowd, it's weird. And it's also going to be a two-night event, so it's not even going to be on one whole day. It's going to be on April 4th and April 5th from the Performance Center. Jared, what are your thoughts on this?
I am telling you, this is not going to happen, just like I told you earlier. So, just so everyone knows, there is a report that the reason why WrestleMania was not outright canceled from Tampa Bay is because if WWE moved it from if they tried to seem like they moved it, um, I can't. I'm trying to remember exactly how the story went. So, for their insurance policy to pay out,
Mm-hmm.
they could not outright cancel it. Um, so they had to move it from Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay was going to cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
So they moved it from Tampa Bay to Orlando, and they're hoping that Orlando cancels it, so they can push it back to June 7th, and still get that money for it.
Yeah.
I
Um.
believe that is what's going to happen. I do not believe they're going to go through with it.
Yeah. See, it's all a risk move here. It's all a risk factor, especially when it comes to Vince, because he wants the show to go on.
But he wants
He
it with
wa-
fans. He wants it with
yes.
fans.
So with him adding crowd noise, it's weird when there's no crowd because there were times years ago that Vince would dub crowd noise into the crowd
I mean,
at
he still
events.
does that.
Yeah. Um,
with Reigns coming out, and then he gets booed, and then
yeah. Like years ago, he started. He didn't always do it because like back then, fans were into the show. As
right.
the shows progressed over the years, it got boring. Vince needed a loophole. Basically, he basically lied to us. Because um, for example, you were there when Shane returned at
I was.
Detroit.
Yes.
It was at the
Yeah.
Joe, right? Or was it?
Yes.
Yes, it was at the Joe. When and you watched it, and then you rewatched it when on TV or like on the network or Hulu, right? When Shane came back. What was the difference in the pop when you were in the stadium and then when you watched it, when you rewatched the broadcast?
There really wasn't any difference, really. I
There was
mean,
there wasn't. There wasn't.
Shane came back, and everyone jumped out of their seats, and everyone
Mm-mm.
cheered.
But there wasn't
So
like an audio difference when you watched the broadcast.
I didn't. I didn't notice it. I guess. Um. No. I just remember that music playing. The Titantron comes up,
Yep.
and everyone just cheers. That's all I remember.
Yeah, because I watched it on TV and it kind of sounded like it was kind of dubbed a little. Like I heard the pop.
Maybe it was, but I mean, a lot of those cheers were real.
Mm. All right, I just wanted to ask about that because um like when I went to Saturday Night's Main Event all the way in '06 for WrestleMania, before WrestleMania, not for WrestleMania. Um, when when Edge had to redo his entrance twice. One, the first one wasn't televised. The
Right.
crowd of boos that went right to Edge and Lita, it was crazy. But then the second time he came out when it was broadcast on TV, you really didn't hear anything.
Really.
Like we booed as loud as we could. Like everyone in the whole arena was like telling Edge that he sucks and like and then when you watched like the televised version when he came out again, you really didn't hear it.
Wow.
It was weird because like everyone was booing Edge, and then everyone popped for Mick Foley,
Right.
and like you didn't really like hear it on the like when it was broadcast. So
Yeah.
you know that was like my example of it. But
Mm.
again, I was only like 10 years old. I was like, you know,
Right.
I was young. I was young. I don't remember exactly how old I was. I was young. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
um.
I do remember um from that night when Shane came back,
Hmm.
Stephanie came out,
Hmm.
and everybody booed.
Well,
But
yeah.
on the broadcast, like everybody booed. Like I think there might have been like 5 cheers in the crowd. But then you watch the broadcast, and it sounded like at least half the people were cheering.
Yeah. I know.
And I'm like,
Yeah. 'Cause, like
I didn't hear
it,
that.
it, it's yeah, right. Because like when you're there, you know what you hear, and then when you watch it, when you rewatch it on a broadcast, it's like, wait, I didn't hear that. Does that
Yeah.
did that happen? You know. So yeah, I just wanted to
So
clarify
that did
like
happen.
that. Yeah, I
So
just wanted to see if like you heard a difference when Shane came back as an example.
no, but when
Uh,
Stephanie came out, there was a real
mhm.
difference. All right, so we're gonna move on.
Yeah.
So WWE sent a cease and desist to a indie promotion because they were using the "In Your House" font for a warehouse show called "In Our Warehouse."
Hmm.
So they had to change the name to Warehouse Wars, and they're still going on this plan. Uh, but WWE sent a cease and desist for using a font that they haven't used in, I don't know, what,
20 years, 20
20,
something.
24 years or so?
Yeah. Well, the last In Your House was,
96, right?
did they have one in 97?
I don't think so.
I'll
I
have to
think the
look.
last one was the DX one.
Yeah, that was in 97.
Was it? I thought it was 96.
Yeah, it was December of 97.
Oh.
The Christmas theme DX, the DX Christmas
I,
theme. It was December of 97 because
okay,
it was after the Montreal Screwjob.
all right, then 23 years later. But still, like, they haven't used it in over 20 years. Like, what does
Yeah.
it
Like,
matter?
and I don't think they ever like trademarked the rights to use that font.
I don't think they
I think
did.
I I think they hired like someone to make that design and like they paid them for it, but like it was never like WWE's ownership. Like
Right,
WWE never owned it.
right.
And like you see like YouTubers and stuff use similar fonts to paper like to WWE logos.
Yeah,
You don't see WWE giving them a cease and desist.
no. Like,
Uh,
um,
GTS, Grimm's Toy Show.
yeah, GTS.
They, yeah, like literally, like every year for their pay-per-view ideas, it's literally a ripoff of WWE pay-per-views, but like
Uh,
it's in that same format.
yeah. Fellow podcasters. Kenny, Kenny for a thought. I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like their logo right now is the Royal Rumble logo with their name.
And you don't see WWE sending them a cease and desist.
Right, exactly. So
Like, why pick on this indie promotion that just wants to put on a great show for fans and that wants to entertain you, and this happens.
I don't know.
It's, it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like
Uh,
it's like writing. It's like making a logo in the Disney font, and Disney sends a cease and desist.
yeah.
Like, like that will like it will ever happen, but like just
You're right.
example.
All right. So, Dark Side of the Ring season premiere. When's that?
Yeah.
I know you know the season premiere. When does that come out?
Um, the sea. Oh shoot. Let me look it up. I'm not entirely sure.
All right. Well, you do that. I'm going to talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
So, the season
Um.
premiere of the Dark
Oh,
Side of the
it's
Ring.
April 10th.
Is that really? I thought it was in March.
It says first episode. Oh wait, no, never mind. That was 2019. I'm stupid. March 25th of this year is
March 25th.
or March 24th is when
Okay.
it's the first episode is gonna happen.
So, the
The
season
second,
premiere has to do with the Benoit murders.
that's the first two episodes. It's gonna be a two-part episode.
Yep.
Um, I've I'm excited for it.
Me too. I'm gonna have to
Um,
watch it on actual TV though. I can't find it anywhere online.
I've been following the Benoit family tragedy since it happened. I was really young, but like I followed on it. Like I followed it. I looked up facts about it and I tried to solve the case, but much to my chagrin, I could not.
Yeah, that happens. Happened in 2008,
2007. Uh,
2007.
it literally happened a week. No, yeah, a week after Sherry Martel passed away, because Sherry Martel passed away on June 15th, and the June 20, trying to remember. It was in June. It was in the 20s in June.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, it was. And what was weird with WWE, they did not acknowledge Martel's passing, but
Of
they
course not.
they acknowledged the Benoits, and then they found out what they think really happened, and then they were like, "We're not going to talk about this again." Like they talked about it, and then they just didn't. It it's an interesting case and an interesting story. Um, I believe they're also going to be talking about Dino Bravo, the murder of Dino Bravo later in
Oh
the
yeah.
season.
Yeah.
I
Um.
think they're going to be talking about a lot of cool things that are pretty interesting to read about and research.
Yeah. All right. So we're recording this on Wednesday. So this is the night AEW will reveal the Exalted One.
Yeah,
So Aaron, you're gonna predict who it's gonna be. I'm gonna predict who it's gonna be, and then we'll move on.
we've been ever since that like the Dark Order have been hinting an Exalted One. We've made our guesses, we've made our predictions, but we both know who it's gonna be. We thought it was Raven. Raven was just a bystander, just sitting there letting people think it was Raven. After that, we didn't see Raven on AEW, so it's not Raven. It's Matt Hardy.
It's Matt Hardy.
It's Matt Hardy. I mean, there's no one else that can portray that character, unless it's Vince McMahon as the higher power.
Oh God, no! Please don't.
Imagine, it's me, Dark Order. It was me all along.
All right. So
but
Matt Hardy.
it's Matt Hardy. It's Matt
Matt
Hardy.
Hardy.
There's no one else that can portray that character. Like we said, it's broken Matt Hardy.
It is.
What
All right. So no, we're
Wolfgang?
moving on. We're moving on. Moving
Okay,
on.
okay, we're moving on.
So Jushin Thunder Liger is I believe he's the last entrant into
he's
the
he's
2020
the
Hall of
he's
Fame.
the latest he's the latest inductee into the Hall of Fame. So I'd say one of the last. I think they're going to announce one more because unless they're not doing a celebrity one or a Warrior Award recipient,
Well,
please
they
no.
they, they don't usually uh announce those, or at least announce the
Most
Warrior Award.
they 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 mostly announce them maybe like a week before Mania,
Right. It's like really
like
close to the
within
show.
within like the 2 weeks before WrestleMania and the Hall of Fame. But yeah, Jushin Thunder Liger, great
Mm.
athlete.
Deserves
You
it.
know, oh yeah, agreed. He's been IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. He's won titles all over. Um, had a
He
great
has.
match against Tyler Breeze at Takeover Brooklyn, the first ever
Yeah.
Takeover Brooklyn.
Won the WCW light or the Cruiserweight Championship a couple
Mhm.
times.
Yeah. Um,
He was in ECW.
he
Uh,
was everywhere.
he's everywhere.
Yeah. Jushin Thunder Liger, thank you for an awesome career. Uh, I again, he deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. He should have been in the Hall of Fame maybe like a few years ago.
Yeah.
But again, he was still wrestling, so I think once his career ended, it was a good time to bring him to the ranks of Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Another Hall of
Uh,
Famer, different Hall. Ken Shamrock is officially being inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame. Um,
I'm happy for him. He's
yeah.
he's a great talent.
Another one who definitely deserves it. One of the early innovators of mixed martial arts in the mid '90s.
Mhm.
Fought for UFC when that was brand new.
Like when it first started, he was in on the first UFC show, I believe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Came to the WWF. You know, had great matches.
oh yeah, yeah. And people gave him crap because he was an MMA fighter coming into the WWF, and he was like, I may be an MMA fighter, but I'll beat your ass. I and I will make it believable. And he did
Yeah.
that. Like he had great matches with The Rock. I believe Stone. Yeah, I believe he wrestled Stone Cold a few times.
He did.
Um, he, again, great addition to the Attitude Era. He was probably one of the uh like one of the greats to come from the Attitude Era. But like he wasn't in WWE for long either.
No, it's
So
about 3 years, I
um
believe. 3 or 4 years.
yeah, yes, something like that. And he made his mark. He was an Intercontinental Champion. Um, it's I would have loved to see him be World Champion. I think he could have done it.
I
I
agree with
think he
that.
had. I think he had the potential to be a World Champion in the WWF.
My favorite storyline with Ken Shamrock, and this is gonna seem stupid, but uh, my favorite storyline was Ken Shamrock and Val Venus. It was my favorite. It's my favorite storyline of
It's a good
Ken.
storyline.
It
It's
is.
comedic. It's you know,
It's
it was
it's
it was entertaining.
hilarious.
It was
It's
entertaining.
amazing.
It added
Uh
to sports entertainment.
yes. All right. So as the title of the podcast this week, and your podcast main event, the NFL.
Ooh.
Um, we
We
have so much to talk about, so
we
let's
have
just
we, we have a lot to say about the NFL.
yes. All right. So the first thing we're going to talk about, Josh Hopkins got traded from Houston to Arizona for David Johnson. Aaron, tell me what you think about this trade. Who was it good for, and what do you grade it?
I was talking to my brother about this, and he's like, "This trade was good for nothing." I, I mean, DeAndre Hopkins, one of the greatest players in the NFL today, played for a great team. I, I mean, we'll see what happens with this trade, but I mean, I don't think it was a good thing. I don't know. I mean, I didn't really pay much attention to this trade, but I grade it like a B minus,
A what? A what minus?
a B,
A B minus. Okay.
B minus.
You cut out.
Oh, sorry. I think I yawned as I said that. Just like,
Oh,
I mean, um,
like all I heard was minus. I'm like, what minus? What? I
I
need to
mean,
take
I
that.
mean, a minus. You just get a minus,
Just
Hopkins.
a
You
minus.
get a minus.
um, I don't know. I think Murray could do a lot more with Hopkins than he did with Johnson. Um, gonna give it a solid B, to be quite honest.
Yeah, that's so.
All right, so we have three Brady stories. I don't know why I put it on here so
Oh
much,
my
but I had
God, three,
three.
three
So
Brady.
listen. They all flow together. So Brady announced that he was not returning to New England since they didn't want to bring him back. Then it was announced that the Tennessee Titans had no interest in Brady. They did have interest in trading away one of their quarterbacks, but we'll get into that later.
Right.
And then it came out that Brady landed in Tampa, so he is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. So Aaron, tell me why this is a good grab for Tampa Bay.
Tampa has, Jameis Winston is a great quarterback. No disrespect to him, but having a top guy like Tom Brady on your team benefits you so much. And I feel it's a good move on Brady's part because I don't think I honestly thought he was going to end his career in New England. He was going to retire after last season. People were speculating, oh, he's just going to retire. Brady can still go. Brady is a great quarterback, and adding him to the Tampa Bay roster is a great addition. He's going to have a good time there. Um, I feel it was a great move on Tampa's part to grab Brady.
And what would you grade it?
I'm grading it an A plus, man. I
I'm also grading A plus.
I feel like Tennessee is having their heads down in shame that now they can't get Tom Brady. But here's the thing now, Brady's in the NFC now.
Yes.
So we're gonna see a lot of well, isn't uh New England in the NFC?
No, they're in the AFC.
Yeah, but didn't the Lions play them last year or something like that?
Played them a couple years ago, but that doesn't mean they're in the NFC.
Well, it wasn't like playoffs or anything, but like, anyways, we're gonna see some great matchups with Brady and the Bucks against top level teams.
Brady's and the Saints twice a year.
That's against Brady. Oh my god, that's gonna be
Yeah.
amazing. That's gonna be like, dude, that's gonna be like watching the Super Bowl all over again.
Yeah. Um. So. Let's talk about Shea Patterson. So
Yeah,
the former Michigan Wolverine has officially announced that he will go into the NFL. Uh, what number do you see him being picked at, and who do you think is going to go to?
I think he is going to be the seventh pick in the first round,
Mm-hmm.
and Philadelphia.
Really?
That's my guess. I feel like him going to a team like that would be a great opportunity for him as a rookie quarterback.
I think he's going to go number 13 to San Francisco.
Ooh, okay.
I'll tell you why. I think having Shea Patterson as a backup quarterback is probably the best thing you could do. I don't really see a lot of teams that need a backup quarterback at the moment.
I
Uh,
mean, no, especially not Tampa Bay now since they got Tom
no.
Brady.
But San Francisco needs someone to like legit back up Garoppolo
Yeah,
and
because
make sure he can learn from a veteran like Garoppolo.
yeah,
Um,
since Kaepernick left the NFL, things with San Francisco have gone downhill. And
yeah, a lot.
Jimmy Garoppolo is a great quarterback. He, he knows his game, but he's just he needs a backup that can learn from him. And like you said, Shea Patterson's a great addition to it if that's the case. But I still think he's going to go Philly. Seventh pick, first round, Philadelphia Eagles.
So Stephon Diggs got traded to Buffalo. Tell me what you think about that and what do you grade it?
Minnesota basically just bent themselves over with this trade. I feel like Stephon Diggs could have had a great more years with Minnesota.
Great more year.
Shut up, okay? He could have better, like more like spectacular years. How about that? That's better. Shut up. Because I mean,
Yeah,
he was the reason that Minnesota almost made it to the Super Bowl a couple of years ago.
yeah, true.
And I mean that play that was amazing.
Yes.
You didn't think Minnesota was going to beat New Orleans, but with
Right.
that play, man, it was crazy. So I don't like
And
this. I
what do you grade it?
graded a D, man. I feel like them
A
giving away
D.
one of their best run wide receivers. Terrible idea.
I'm giving it a solid B, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
So Buffalo has Josh Allen at quarterback, and Josh Allen can really throw the ball.
Yeah.
Um, I think he's going to use Stephon to his advantage and really sling it out to him. So B for me. for
I,
Buffalo. B for
I
Buffalo.
just I just don't see Stephon Diggs doing well in Buffalo. I see him as a Minnesota Viking, man.
Yeah. So the Raiders signed Marcus Mariota.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Probably to back up Derek Carr, because eventually Derek
Yeah.
Carr will get hurt. He needs someone to step up to the plate. Mariota's that person. Um, so I'm grading that signing an A minus, straight A minus.
I graded that an A. I think having a quarterback like Marcus Mariota, especially with the Raiders, great decision from the people in the office of are they Los Angeles now or are they
No, they're Las
I
Vegas, dude.
Las Vegas. Oh, okay, that's damn it. See, I need to start paying attention to this more. I well, one year they're in Oakland, then they're in LA, and now they're in Vegas. Like
Yeah,
choose a city and stay with it.
they did Las Vegas.
Good.
This will be the first year they play in Las Vegas in their brand new stadium. Excited to see it. Excited to see it.
I'm
Uh,
excited.
so the Lions
Oh
over
yeah.
the past couple of days signed backup quarterback Chase Daniels, linebacker Jamie Collins, and even got a deal with Williams. Uh, Most of them are from the Patriots. We're signing all these
First,
Patriots
first,
talent, man.
first we get Danny Amendola, who used to play for the Patriots, but we got him from Miami.
Yes.
Still, he was a former Patriot. And then we got Matt Patricia, a former Patriot coach. And now
And
we
two
got
other
like
Patriots
half,
coaches.
yeah. And then now we have like half of the Patriots with Detroit. Oh man, I
Yeah.
I give this an A minus. I don't know, like it's
Crazy.
I love our Lions. I feel like these trades and decisions that they're making are good for the team, and it's going to help in the long run,
Yeah.
especially with a backup quarterback. You know, for
Yeah.
Stafford, because Stafford again, just like Derek Carr, Stafford's going to get hurt.
I don't know though. We'll see. We'll
I
see.
mean, it's a possibility. Not saying guaranteed Stafford's going to get hurt, but there's always that possibility.
True.
So bringing a
Uh,
backup, you know.
so the Saints re-signed Breeze to a 2-year deal. I
Mhm.
believe they signed a cornerback as well.
Yep.
Um, the Indianapolis Colts signed Philip Rivers, which I'm very excited about.
Sad.
Um,
I'm really excited.
Cam Newton is seeking a trade.
Hmm.
The Panthers signed Teddy Bridgewater, and then
Yep.
released Eric Reed. Why would you release Eric Reed? Why would you
I,
do that?
I I don't understand what's going on with Carolina right now.
They're all over the board, man.
Yeah, I know. First, Newton wants a trade because they signed Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater would make a great backup. Hell, he can
Nah,
make a
man.
great
Teddy
starter.
Bridgewater, 100% starting quarterback. Because Newton knew he was
Right.
going to lose his job to Bridgewater.
And I mean, if I was Cam Newton, I wouldn't care being a backup. I'm still getting paid. Sure,
Sure.
I'm not going out there as much as I want to. Because, like Cam Newton was all the hype when he was in college and then came
Yeah.
to the NFL. Everyone was talking about Cam Newton, Cam Newton, Cam Newton. What is he going to do? What can he do? Like,
Well, he
everyone was talking
failed.
about him.
He failed.
Yeah, just like, everyone was talking about Aaron Rodgers. Well, Aaron Rodgers showed people what he could do.
Yeah.
But, like,
Cam
everyone was
Newton still
talking.
hasn't showed us what he can do. Like, he's still
He's a
Superman, but he's not Superman.
great athlete. He's a great athlete, but he needs to like loosen up. Just
Yeah.
because you're going to lose your starting slot, you're going to cry and say you want to trade.
Yes.
Dude, grow the hell up. Stop wearing those big poofy hats and those checkered suits. This isn't the 70s, man. This ain't the 70s, Newton. Get your head out of your head.
So the Raiders signed former Cowboy Jason Witten. Jason Witten's back in the NFL.
Jason Witten, man, what a player.
Tight
Great,
end,
great
dude.
player.
Um, I give that an A plus for Las Vegas.
Definitely. Yeah,
A
A
plus.
plus, man. That was a great grab.
Speaking of the Cowboys signed Gerald McCoy, defensive tackle, dude. A plus for Cowboys, dude. Like
Oh yeah,
I know we hate on the Cowboys a lot, but that was a good get, man.
I hate the Cowboys with a burning passion, but
Burning pack.
they're making great decisions right now, along with Las Vegas signing Jason Witten. Now the Cowboys signing Gerald McCoy. If you haven't seen Gerald McCoy's highlights, look him up because
Yeah,
he's no one to sleep on. Same with
very
Jason
true.
Witten, no one to sleep
Also
on
true.
him.
So look, this is the last story for the podcast, but it's a big one.
Yeah,
The Jacksonville Jaguars traded away their backup quarterback Nick Foles to the Bears. Well, Bears fans decided they didn't like Nick Foles. So they were in an uproar today on Twitter. Aaron, tell me why this is a good get for the Bears.
Nick Foles is a great quarterback. No one to sleep on. Nick Foles used to play for a great team, the Philadelphia Eagles. He went to the Super Bowl, right? They went to the Super Bowl, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
He
I
won the
didn't
Super
remember.
Bowl. He won that
Yeah,
Super Bowl.
he had a touchdown. He was the
Yes.
first quarterback to get like a literal touchdown in the Super Bowl.
And then he got released a week later.
Yeah, got released, and now Jacksonville grabbed him, and then they traded him off to Chicago. Chicago has not been doing so well lately. It's a great it's a great grab for Chicago in the NFC North because Nick Foles, again, great quarterback. No one to sleep on. I'm going to say that a lot because he is no one to sleep on. If you haven't seen his highlights, check his stuff out from when he was playing for the Eagles. He is, again, a quarterback to not sleep on. He's like Matthew Stafford, a great
Okay.
quarterback.
Okay, I have to interrupt.
Go ahead. I'm already done talking about Nick Foles in this deal.
Breaking news.
What?
The Detroit Lions are signing Desmond Trufant, former
What?
Falcons quarterback or cornerback.
What?
Desmond Trufant, dude.
Oh my god! Detroit's going to the Super Bowl.
On a 2-year, $21 million deal with $14 million guaranteed.
How does Detroit have that kind of money?
Aaron,
We don't have that money to get Brady, but we have him to get a cornerback.
Aaron,
Yes.
tell me why this is a good gift for Detroit. Tell me why.
Great cornerback, great defender. Detroit has not been doing so well in the last 10 years. We always get screwed in the damn play. Damn it, Cowboys. We always get screwed. We always I got it.
Yeah,
We
yeah, you
always get
got it.
screwed in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes.
God. But with a player like Trufant, he's he's gonna bust some heads.
Oh yeah, I'm excited to
He,
play with this new team on the new Madden game this year, man.
oh yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Um, Detroit's really gonna turn some faces, change
Yeah.
history too. I feel like with also the new game layout with the playoffs and everything, I think Detroit's actually going to make it far in the playoffs this coming season.
I agree with that. I agree with
It's
that.
it's It's a great grab for Detroit. Great job. You did something right, Detroit.
A A plus.
A plus plus, man. I
A plus
It
plus.
breaks the rating scale. It breaks it.
All right, everyone. So that's gonna be it for us today, man. We got the 50 minutes though. We got the 50 minutes. Perfect.
I'm surprised you didn't talk about the whole Nick Foles deal on your side.
Well, look, man.
Or
Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. Nick Foles, not someone to sleep on. He backed up Carson Wentz. Wentz went down. He won the Super Bowl, and then he got shafted big time. Getting released a week later. Carson Wentz, for as good as he is, he cannot put that team up on a pedestal by himself.
yeah,
He
no,
needed a veteran behind him, and that was in Foles.
yeah, Nick
You
Foles,
know,
great quarterback. I
with Minshew in Jacksonville, I understand why they traded him away, but again,
mm,
they need somebody with that veteran experience. Now, experience is going to the Bears. Now, don't expect Foles to be a backup in Chicago. Trubisky
no,
could not lace my cleats. My cleats.
Trubisky is a good quarterback, but on the levels of Nick Foles, nah,
Nah.
man. Nick Foles is the starter, baby.
So
Come on.
make no mistake. You're gonna see Foles starting, Bears
Mm,
fans, and you're gonna like it.
You better like it. Otherwise, I mean, Foles isn't going anywhere.
No.
He's he's in Chicago to stay for a while. Great, great grab from Chicago. Great
Oh yeah.
job, Chicago. You finally did something right in your town, in your city. You finally
Good
did something
job.
right.
All right, man. So we're gonna get out of here. Thank everybody for listening. We are on Apple Podcasts now, which we have been doing really good on there so far. So keep that up.
I I haven't checked Apple Podcasts, so
Oh man, we
but
are doing great. So make sure you guys keep hitting that up.
also Spotify, Breaker, right? Or Spreaker,
Breaker.
Breaker,
Um,
Anchor.
we're on Anchor, which
A lot of ones
I
that
just want
end
to
with an
say,
OR.
I just I just want to say, so thank you to Anchor and everyone there who's helping us do this. It would not be without them that we could be on all these major podcast platforms. So thank you
Yeah,
to Anchor.
thank you, Anchor.
Not sponsored, just so everyone
No,
knows. I'm genuinely thankful.
we all are.
So for Aaron Ahmed, I'm Jared Weathers. This was the Weathers Media Podcast, and make sure you are sharing this everywhere. We want everyone to listen to this. It's the brand new, reinvented Weathers Media Podcast, WMP. Make sure when you share this, you hashtag WMP everywhere.
Goodbye and good night.